Welcome to the Creating Wealth Podcast, where Kyle Curtin takes you on an extraordinary journey alongside renowned multifamily real estate sponsors and syndication experts from every corner of the United States. We teach you how to harness the power of passive real estate investing and witness the transformation of your wealth building strategy. Let's create wealth together.
Going kind of from, that first experience with the two-family and kind of jumping into like the next thing, like especially like jumping into like the small commercial space, like take us a little bit kind of through that transition of, like absolutely nailing like that first property to starting to like go a little bit bigger. And
so I was house hacking a 3-family in Fitchburg. And I had met, so I'm really big on direct mail marketing and off-market lead sourcing. And so I ended up connecting with a guy who I actually bought over 100 units with over the last couple of years through direct mail. And he did nothing but 5 units and larger. And so to be honest with you, I don't know if I ever would have got into that space if I hadn't met that person through doing marketing, through having, the balls to spend $3,000 a month when I didn't have it on marketing to try to find deals. And I ended up meeting him, and we actually partnered together on a 10-unit property, and he ran the whole thing. Like I didn't do anything. The only thing I did was I raised the capital for it. And so, you have to bring some sort of skill to an endeavor, right? Like you can't meet somebody and be like, oh, let's partner up on something if you're not bringing some extreme value. For him at that time, he was trying to grow his portfolio, didn't have the capital in the bank to continue to purchase this property, but he had a property management company. He had the ability to take the deal down. He knew exactly what he was doing. Analysis and financially, he's a genius. I, on the other hand, I am not a numbers person. And so we molded really well together on that first deal. And then from there, it was like, okay, there's going to be nothing but 6-unit buildings or larger, like absolutely nothing. Like, I'm not doing any of this other, but I'm not buying and holding a 3-unit ever again, or 4-unit, a 5-unit. And so we just kept getting bigger and bigger. That's really how I got the taste of that, because you start to realize that the more units you have under one roof, the numbers start to look better because you don't pay as much per unit, but the rent doesn't really change. So, if you're paying $1,500 for a 2-bed in a 3-unit, you're probably paying $1,500 or maybe $1,475, whatever it is, in a 10-unit property for that same unit. But the unit price, you're not paying $150,000 a unit like you are in a 3-unit. You're paying maybe $90 or $100. And then if you have it off market, you're buying it even less than that. And so the split in the profit margin is way larger. Not to mention that the value comes from really just how good can you manipulate these numbers, right? How much income can you produce, and how well can you drive your expenses downward? And then, it's just an equation from there. You have a cap rate for the town that you're buying it in. And then you just, you take the NOI, figure out the value from there, and you can it's like rocket fuel. So
I love that, man. No, I totally understand where you're coming from. You know what I mean? And like, I think that space is like ridiculously cool. Especially
also, sorry, I mean,
that's okay. That's okay.
Financing in commercial space, people think it's so complex. Like, dude, getting a loan for a 2-family or a 3-family is so much more difficult than getting a loan for a 6-unit property. Like, so much more difficult. They don't even, like, commercial lenders, it's like, all right, is the deal going to make money? And are you financially able, or is your partner, or can you bring money from somewhere just to show that you can, like, if something goes wrong, you can maintain it? Like, that's it. In residential, it's like, okay, how much money do you make? Let me see your tax returns for the last 3 freaking years. We need I need an inspection, appraisal. The 20% down here, maybe 25% down. Are you going to live in the property? It's
your firstborn child. Yeah.
Exactly. It's a whole mess. So it's just not built for the investor, right? The 2s and 3s, they're actually meant for you to live in. 6, 7, 8, 10, 20, those are actually meant to make money. And so the lending is just much different in favor for the investor.
That's a wrap for today's episode. We want to thank you for being a valued listener of the Creating Wealth Podcast. Make sure to visit www.creatingwealth.com to connect with us. Dive into our ever-expanding library of informative blogs. get access to our private investor portal, and explore a wide range of additional valuable resources. Stay tuned for our next episode as we continue to create wealth together.